We have all these different parts of us. One part of us wants to stay in bed all day, and another wants to go march in the streets, and another wants to have a fight with somebody. We have all of these parts of us, and we could do a practice today just bringing forward some of the different feelings that are inside of us and integrating and doing some welcoming practice with those as well. So get yourself settled, and as you're getting yourself settled, notice if your body wants to move a little bit first or even through it, or if you want to lie down or sit up. What is it that's happening in your system right now? Body, breath, energy, mind, thoughts. And as we're doing that, we're also coming into awareness, meaning we're paying attention to what's going on in this moment. And also that we're aware of the space that this is all arising in. I'll often talk about the space that our body is occupying, what's arising in there. But there's also our human life, our experience as a person that's unique to each of us. And it's also part of the play of this world. We're here not just alone, but with other people. And we have identification, we have conditioning. A lot of that conditioning is really in the news right now with Black Lives Matter and all of the protests going on. And some of what we have inside of us we really love and respect, and other things we have inside of us kind of horrify us. And a lot of things we have inside of us are very painful. We've had a lot of experiences through our lifetime of not being seen or valued or turning against ourselves. We have a lot of hurt inside of us, as well as joy. We've all had experiences of connection and joy, of meaning. And we have some parts of us that are trying to manage things and keep us on track. We have the inner critic. We have a lot of different things going on inside. So maybe we could start by noticing what comes up with those words and appreciating, or at least acknowledging, but hopefully appreciating the richness of that. Human beings are complicated. We're multi layered and nuanced, and then we all get together in these families and towns and cities and countries and in the global population. And one thing that's been really brought home during the pandemic is how linked we all are. Certainly physically, a virus travels around the world. Many people have lost their lives, their livelihood, certainly the freedom to move about in the world the way we did. Some of the loss of freedom of moving around in the world has turned out to be of benefit as well as difficult. Our nervous systems are experiencing a lot right now. And it's natural for us to be afraid and uncertain and uncomfortable with that uncertainty. So, with all of that, let's use the thank you phrases that we use in the Killaby inquiries. Thank you for arising, or thank you for being here. And quite often we'll use that with a specific energy or sensation. We might have a heaviness in our chest right now, for instance. There's a heaviness of grief, or there's a fire of anger. So we might be using it really specifically to an energy. And maybe to see how that would feel in a broader sense. Thank you for the complexity, maybe, of this human life. And the second sentence is, I love you. So it's thank you for arising. I love you. And you're welcome to stay. Or another way of putting that is, I don't have to defend myself against you. I don't have to defend myself against energy or painful thoughts, painful experiences. And the part of me that wants to rage, and the part of me that wants to stay in bed, and the part of me that wants to help, all of these parts are welcome. And sometimes this is kind of practical, like the part of me that tenses my shoulders up around my ears isn't exactly welcome in the sense of I don't want to have that pain in my back and shoulders. It might be welcome though in the sense of this is a defense mechanism that's trying to help. And we might have some patience and kindness, and some inclusion for the parts of our body that tighten up. Let's take a moment to notice what's happening in the body right now, what's tight in particular. And does your body want to move? You notice that there's tension in your neck and shoulders. We can bring our shoulders up and then let them release. We could move our head around. We could be still, but bring our attention into that. And with our mind, with our attention, let go of the tightness. And we could take a few deep breaths and notice that feels safer. When we can take a deep breath, it feels safer. And if we can't take a deep breath, we could look around the room. We could move around a little bit, look to see, is there a predator here? Or is this a habit? Mostly it's a habit. And would it feel okay to gradually open up the breath a little bit more? And that instinct to stop breathing or hold our breath or breathe really shallow, that causes us a lot of trouble because it signals to our nervous system that we're not safe. And then we get tighter and then we stop breathing. And we have a lot of patterns that come from that that aren't helpful. But the instinct is to protect our life, it's to save our life if there's danger, that we don't want to be just strolling along doing deep breaths and business as usual. We need to hunker down and hide or run. So, just on a really nervous system, practical body level, thank you for being here. I love you, and you're welcome to continue protecting me. Let's take a moment to notice the body from head to toes, what's happening in that space. Notice that we're aware of what's happening in the space. And as we bring our attention to the back of the body, we might notice different sensations. We could settle our body, remind ourselves we don't need to move about in the world right now. We could let our arms and legs be soft, lose their tension, let them be at rest. And notice the front of your body as well, your forehead and eyebrows. eyebrows up if you like, and then let them soften. And if your mind is whirling with thoughts, even if the whirl has slowed down a little bit, focusing on softening the forehead can help let go of worry and tension. Notice your eyes. Let your eyes be at rest. Let your brain be at rest. We see a lot of beauty with our eyes. We can be thankful for that. And we also use our eyes to scan the environment for danger. We could be thankful for that. Notice your mouth and jaw. Relax the corners of your mouth, the hinges of your jaw. Let your tongue rest on the floor of your mouth. And down through your neck and shoulders, through your throat to the front of your neck, the sides and the top of your shoulders, and down through your chest and your belly. And notice again the breathing that's going on. Generally, the breath starts to settle and soften as we do a resting practice. And that's something that we could really notice as well. Our body is so willing to relax, it longs for a rest. And we might have things in our nervous system that are still jumpy or restless. And as we start to feel safer, they'll start to relax as well. Anchor your attention in your body with your breath, and then see what's here. We could invite different parts to come forward and be seen if there's something in us that's scared, grieving, that pushy part of us that's trying to be helpful, but that feels aggressive in terms of shaming ourselves or pushing ourselves. What is it that's going on? What could we have a few minutes of relationship with? And as we invite that forward, then we listen, we pay attention in our heart. I see you, I hear you, I'm glad you're here. And sometimes it's an energy or a felt sense of something. It might be an emotional flashback into the way we felt when we were young, or something like that might be here. Sometimes it's more specific. We might have an image of ourselves at a certain age. A 6-year old who's scared needs to be comforted and connected with. And that's something that we can do now as an adult. We might not have had anybody in our lives that really connected with us when we were younger and when we were scared and lonely and isolated. And now we could extend that invitation. I want to know, I want to be here for you. Come forward and let me know. Sometimes we might imagine putting our arm around that younger self or looking them in the eye, reassuring them, letting them know it was not their fault, and that you're welcoming them. Now, in this moment, you don't have to push anything away, everything is welcome. Stay really grounded in your body, your breath, and this welcoming. Human beings are complex, and one of the real foundations of healing and happiness is to be able to really welcome all of our experiences, all of who we are, all of our thoughts, our feelings, to not shame ourselves for anything. Everything that's here is here for a reason. And sometimes something needs to be listened to, or we need to just connect with it and see it. Scared parts of us need reassurance. And we can do that on a cognitive level, but also to stay really present in your body. And sometimes it doesn't need any words at all, it's just a presence. And we might go back to those words and notice our response. Our response can indicate where we're resistant to something. So if we were to welcome the whole of our messy, nuanced humanity in ourselves, thank you. You're welcome to be here. I love you. I am interested in and capable of knowing everything that's here. Nothing needs to be pushed down or repressed or set aside. It's all welcome here. Or maybe it's I'm really willing to open more and more to what's here. I'm willing to love myself, to pay attention, to let myself be seen. Stay connected in your heart, in your body, with your breath. And along with the scared parts and the pushy parts, the parts that want to stay in bed, there's also the parts that are engaged and enthusiastic and steady, strong, resilient. That's here too. Notice to pay attention to that, to welcome that, and to honor ourselves for that. Stay connected with your body for a moment as you bring that into honoring your strength and resilience, your creativity, your humor, your honesty, your vulnerability, all of those wonderful things about ourselves. That's welcome too. And then when you're ready, open your eyes, finish the practice.